Hey, have you heard the news? It appears masses are now exiting United States and Canada, looking for a better life. It seems that anyone who hasn't already left is talking about it. It is now so prevalent, even the mainstream media is reporting on it. What concerns us more than anything is we believe things are going to get worse before they get better. Since the great financial crisis in 2008, we have had nothing but a booming economy, aside from the COVID years. Why then are so many people struggling? If it's so difficult for people during the good times, what's it going to be like once we enter recessionary times? Well, for us, we didn't stick around to find out. We have been traveling the world for the last 2 years, trying to figure out where we might eventually settle. It's no easy task. There are so many options. Europe, Asia, Central America. Where does one go? Well, today we are releasing our first of many videos of possible countries that might afford you a better life. Our first video in this series will be on Mexico. We are going to tell you different areas in Mexico you might like. We will also explain how to gain residency, cost of living, safety, health and wellness, but most importantly, we will tell you why we think you should make Mexico your first choice. Please remember, this is a process. You may end up getting your residency in Mexico and happily spending the rest of your life there. We may end up with 2 or 3 different residencies. The world is changing so quickly, we feel the more jurisdictional diversity we have, the better. So, let's get right to it. We think Mexico is a great first choice for both American and Canadian residents for several different reasons. The first being, leaving your home country is a huge step. We are not going to sugarcoat this. The transition is not always easy. There is going to be a culture shock no matter where you go, but in Mexico, much less so. It's really nice that English is widely spoken in the more popular expat areas, and there are lots of neighborhoods where you will be breaking bread and socializing with predominantly like-minded people from your home country. And there's a sense of familiarity in Mexico. After all, they are our next-door neighbors. And Mexico has been a tourist hotspot for us for over 50 years. Another benefit is you can buy just about anything you want down here. You will be able to purchase most major North American brands. You will pay extra for imported goods, but at least they are available. Another thing we really liked about Mexico was it was so close to home. Initially, you will probably get homesick. You will want to go visit family and friends. If that's the case, Mexico is just a quick flight away. Actually, we drove from Vancouver to Cabo San Lucas several times. You definitely can't do that if you're somewhere in Europe or Asia. We found as time went on, though, we lost the need to go back as frequently. Actually, it's getting to the point now where we don't want to go back at all. Every time we visit, it makes us so sad to witness the steady erosion of our country. As for our kids and our friends, we are having them visit us more than the opposite. But the main reason we believe Mexico should be your first choice is because of the residency rules. Mexican residency is fairly easy to attain and affordable as well. And once you have attained your Mexican permanent residency, you have it for life. And the really nice thing is, if you choose, you do not have to spend any time there at all. We initially were not aware, but in Canada, you cannot give up your residency until you have acquired another residency in a different country. So, bottom line is, for very little effort or cost, you can start your exit process. To simplify the process even more, we would recommend you hire a business agent to assist you. We hired Claudia Mendoza in Cabo San Lucas. She assisted us from start to finish. The total cost for her services, combined with immigration costs, works out to approximately $1,000 US. We interviewed Claudia in one of our last videos. We will leave a link to our Leaving Canada series below. So, let's get into safety now. We have traveled extensively throughout Mexico and can honestly say we have never felt our safety was in question. I cannot say the same about Canada and the US. I know the mainstream media loves to portray Mexico poorly regarding safety, and there is statistical evidence validating their reporting. Mexico's murder rate, 18 per 100,000, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime report, is more than 3 times the US rate of 4.8 per 100,000. What they don't report is the vast majority of these murders are committed in cartel strongholds. These are areas where I don't think too many of our viewers would consider living. The big difference I see in Mexico as opposed to the US and Canada is there are consequences to your crimes down here if caught. I can guarantee you they do not practice the catch and release on criminals in Mexico as we do in Canada and the US. And how about the cost of living? A huge concern for everyone lately. The cost of living in Mexico is considerably lower compared to that of the United States and Canada. Housing, groceries, transportation, and healthcare are often more affordable in Mexico. Additionally, eating out and entertainment options can also be cheaper in Mexico. Prices in Mexico have gone up substantially in the more touristy areas the last couple of years, but still more affordable overall, especially once you learn where the locals go. Leave the overpriced tourist spots for the tourists. Another important thing to consider is healthcare. There is both public and private healthcare available to you in Mexico. If you're looking to access the public healthcare sector in Mexico, you'll only be allowed to if you're a Mexican citizen or a legal resident. Healthcare services are provided in a 2-tier system: basic coverage and comprehensive coverage. You qualify if you are a permanent resident. And then there is the private healthcare system. Mexico is the largest medical tourism destination in the world, so it is no surprise that Mexico is home to some world-class private hospitals and top-notch facilities. While it may be affordable compared to the US, it is still a major cost if you have a serious health issue. That is why most expats purchase medical insurance. For more information on this, please check out our video, Goodbye Canada, Hello World Class Healthcare. One big advantage to using the private healthcare sector is that staff will be comfortable speaking English and dealing with foreigners. A lot of the doctors are trained in the US and Canada as well. It is no longer news to anyone of the problems that exist with US and Canadian healthcare. Healthcare in the US is one of the most expensive in the world, and the public healthcare in Canada is plagued with long waits and unavailability. I think Mexico definitely wins out here. And lastly, let's talk about Mexico's spectacular natural splendor and vibrant cultural heritage. It is definitely a gorgeous country, but so is the USA and Canada. This is not the reason people are leaving. It is all the details we have discussed above that concern most people. And Mexico is a very diverse country. Just a few of the many destinations expats are gravitating to are Mexico City, the whole Mayan Riviera, with Tulum being the hub. It's become a real hotspot for young people and digital nomads. And then there's Baja California Sur, including Los Cabos. And there's the whole Pacific coast, right from Ensenada down to the Central American border. And let's not forget all the inland destinations, such as Lake Chapala, San Miguel de Allende, and Guadalajara, just to name a few. So, in closing, we should mention originally we had circled in Mexico as our new home. We're not so sure now. There are so many other amazing countries to explore. Hopefully by the time we get tired of traveling, we will have our definitive winner. Next country we will be discussing is Malaysia. It is on the other side of the globe, but trust us, this country has to be on your list of considerations. And lastly, please remember to subscribe, like, and share. We are also available on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.